showcasing their companies now. But with these words, I would like to you to enjoy the evening and hopefully see you also later on at the after party. Thank you.
Thank you, Ville. As Ville mentioned, in a moment we'll kick off with the actual stars of the evening. We've got 3 stars here at the front who are no less important than the showcasing startups are. Please, could I have the jury members on stage, and I'd like you to introduce yourselves instead of me not doing you the honor.
Great. Oh, I love coming to Maria Nollet. It's such an energy. We're here and we're honored to be here. Schibsted might be the most successful media company in the Nordics or in the world. And it's due to that we put a lot of effort in investing in great entrepreneurs from the beginning. Our first digital investment was in 2002. And now we also had done some in Finland. I was actually at the first board meeting at Linear, I know Maria Nollet's O0 company. So, but glad to be here.
Great to be here with all the fellow Maria people. I'm Lauri and been in Eventual for 7 years, pun intended. We are a Nordic and Baltic VC, investing in early stage companies, anything pre-seed, seed, A round, so nothing is kind of too early for us these days. We're going to have bigger news coming later this year, but excited to hear the new companies today.
Hello everyone, I'm Elina Lappalainen, a business journalist in Helsingin Sanomat, HS Visio. And I have been covering the Finnish startup scene since 2011. So I know many of you, and coming here, I just realized how much I missed you. So great to be here, seeing you live. And I used to say that it's boring to be in a dying industry where we talk about how the circulations are declining, but now it's not. And it has been great to be building a new product. It's like being in a startup inside a media company. And now I know something about the excitement. So it has been great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You are in good company tonight, as taking the stage first will be Mats Rönnback from Vilja Care. Please.
Good afternoon, everybody. And we're going to start out with some really serious stuff. I'm a doctor, and my co-founders at Vilja Care are also doctors. We have a long experience of taking care of old people, like really old people. And we have identified a serious problem in our healthcare system. That is, when an old person approaches the end of his life, what do we doctors do? We send him to the hospital. And there we give him drugs, maybe electrical shocks, basically make the last time of their life really miserable. And the result is often that the patient dies alone in the hospital, attached to a machine. And this is not what people want. This is inhuman, unethical, and it also wastes a lot of precious healthcare resources. So, our mission at Vilja Care is to save old people from unnecessary excessive medical care, so that people can die at home, surrounded by their loved ones, and have a good death, basically. How do we do this? We help doctors to make these difficult decisions about life and death, and when to refrain from medical care. And for this purpose, we have developed Vilja, which is a tool that gathers information on every patient. It gathers information on cognition, and quality of life, and prognosis. and it generates a recommendation for goals of care for every individual patient, and these goals of care guide the doctor in his clinical decision making, so that the doctor doesn't have to give this excessive medical care, and the patient's quality of life improves, and we can actually show that this approach reduces the rate of hospitalization by 50%, which is huge. Does it work? Yes, it works. We have tested it in several nursing homes, and the response has been overwhelmingly positive. The doctors like it, but the nurses, they love it because it makes their life so much easier when there are clear guidelines how the patients should be treated. The patients are happy because they can stay at home, they don't have to go to the hospital. And also the patient's relatives are very satisfied because now they can trust that their loved ones receives the best care possible. So in our opinion, this is a win-win, win-win solution, and it should be implemented in every country, at least in the developed world. So if anyone is interested in hearing more about this, to discuss collaboration, funding, or whatever, please contact me or our CEO, Erik, and we'll be happy to schedule a meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mats. Now, jury, would you have any interesting questions for Mats?
A fantastic, strong presentation. I almost wept here, actually. What I'm thinking about is it's a fantastic product, but it must be hard to sell it, sort of. What is the strongest selling point when you pitch towards the hospitals and stuff like that?
Well, basically, it's of course improving the quality of the care. It's our main point is the ethical point, because I mean it's the most ethical thing you can do to respect the will of the patient, and. But of course, hospital administrators and organization, they also have other goals. And when an organization uses Vilja systematically, they do reduce the use of healthcare resources for these old patients, and it actually reduces also the expenditure, which taxpayer money or other money that we spend on basically unnecessary healthcare or healthcare that doesn't benefit the patient. So the one that pays the bill also benefits quite a lot.
You're working on a very important topic, and some of the recommendations you give are literally about life and death.
Yes.
What are those recommendations based off? What have you what's the data?
They're actually based on our own clinical experience. So we have a combined experience of geriatric medicine of approximately 80 years. And we have tried to copy our brains and put them into algorithms and this system. There isn't, I mean, there are no right and wrongs here. There just have to make judgment or try to analyze the situation. So there aren't really any good clinical data you can base it on. It's based on clinical experience.
Hi, this is very important, but we all know how the public sector and this area, healthcare, is in a mess at the moment. So
yes.
What kind of situation it is to sell, and how is your business coping with this?
Well, let's say the last 2 years have been quite challenging because we had the COVID pandemic, and that basically meant that all the focus of the healthcare organization was on the coronavirus. Now it's actually, we're getting a lot more traction because at least here in Finland, we have these new hospital districts or health districts, and there are people there whose job it is to plan ahead. So they're very interested. We're also getting some very interesting discussions in Sweden at the moment, and also very much interest there. But that is the commercialization and sales process is definitely one of the largest challenges, because we know healthcare organizations are large, they are slow moving, and it's a very conservative business.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you.
Next on stage, we have Ilona Mooney from Work Ahead.
I am Ilona from Work Ahead. We make worker surveys for emerging markets. We are now waking up to a new way of living and doing business. In our industry, this is visible in EU introducing laws making big companies responsible for human rights in their supply chains. And it's visible for us consumers with ethical and sustainable products popping up everywhere. But it's actually really tricky for companies to be sustainable. Firstly, they exist to make money. Most of them don't make their own products, and whatever you do, somebody's going to call it greenwashing. Let me drill down a little bit. What does it mean that they don't make their own products? Most global companies will touch people who are still today illiterate. They earn minimum wage and live under the poverty line, and they have limited choice to where can they work. How are you going to make business sustainable in this setting? Well, here's how we help some top brands and investors in this space. First, we help them hear directly from the workers with our video survey technology and verify working and living conditions. And we do this in a way that actually advances sustainability. It is like introducing worker well-being surveys where they have never been used before. So we bring them the thinking that helps our companies get better. And we do this scalably with technology. This is what tech looks like when you want to reach people who are illiterate and who may have never held a mobile phone in their hand. It's totally video-based, and it's a graphical interface where you only need a finger to answer. We've done this in places from Zambia to Afghanistan, from Taiwan to Colombia. This is really a blue ocean strategy, even though there are some smart people who think this is going to be an industry worth several billion of dollars, but there's really not a lot of players doing something like this. Right now, I'm really excited that what we're doing has been validated at the UN level. I'm heading there to speak in a couple of weeks. Just today, a stock-listed company emailed me and said, hey, we got approval from our legal team. We can now sign the contract and start with subscription service. So this is something new we've recently launched, subscription service that allows brands to scale this up across their supply chains. So allowing us to reach a lot of workers. Please follow our journey. Here's our Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook accounts. And excited to see you all and hopefully get to know a little bit of you in the after party.
Again, quite an important topic that touches every one of us through a couple of chains. On your journey, what has been the most difficult thing getting to this point, which is already quite a lot? What has been most challenging to date?
As an engineer, we often think the engineering is the hard part. That's not the truth. It is changing culture and thinking. How do you introduce a worker survey in place where they've never asked workers for their opinion? That's the hardest part, and we're getting pretty good at that now.
And what's the magic recipe there? How can you get a worker answer the survey?
It's not about the workers, it's about the managers to understand that how can we use this data. So we often will show them what the data will look like, and we provide them with breakdowns per units. We actually ask them the same questions we get asked, like, is your manager a good role model for employees? And then they see it across the organization, and a little light bulb goes off that, wow, this is actually useful.
Respect for United Nations first. I'm thinking about the go-to-market. How is your strategy and how will you spread this product?
Mm-hmm. We've now worked with, I'd say, innovator brands and also some investors who invest in emerging markets. Some of them, actually one of the investors now wanted us to be on board with a fund that's a 10-year fund to track how their investments, how life gets better for the workers in their investments. And I guess that's the strategy. So we work with the kind of top brands, and now we are seeing some of the first suppliers reaching out to us and asking, can I buy this? I want to compare my results from a year ago. Can I buy this directly from you? So that's been our strategy. And now with the new legislation, we are looking at rolling it out, I think, more widely to the publicly listed company space in the EU.
What I was wondering is how to tackle corruption and like not so honest users in these countries that are very challenging environments.
That's a really good question. Firstly, we can see how reliable the results are based on the metadata and based on the answers, because we can compare what will honest answers look like. However, I believe this is a little bit an old thinking. Previously, we thought we'll go to our partners and we catch them doing something wrong. In the new mindset, we realize life looks very different in emerging markets, and we work with our partners to make life better. So already the collaboration looks different. It is bringing them tools that, hey, this tool will help you, and we also can track your progress. But it's not about catching them doing something wrong. It's more about doing something that advances actually the sustainability.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ilona. So we've had a bit of health tech, enterprise software. Next, we're going to see something a bit different. GoalProfit, Maxim Mozarov.
You know, we love retail. That's my team 20 years ago when we ran our first startup in retail optimization area. It was after acquired by Demantec and IBM for $500 million. Retail, we know very well, is struggling now. Historically high inflation, boom of e-commerce. Retail is transforming, becomes digital. Retail becomes IT. And many well-known brands, they closed their stores, they announced bankruptcy. So we have founded GoalProfit to help fashion, grocery, DIY, sports retailers to stay profitable, to stay alive. And it's a big deal. So more than 200 billion are spent by retailers on IT. And that's still a challenge because you have a lot of solutions, vendors you need to select from. And still there is a strategic big dilemma, is to build in-house with full control and customization, or to buy from the market ready-to-use solution. So in GoalProfit, we offer the third option. So we help you to load the data. You can run ready-to-use app, but still in our platform, you can customize everything to match 100% your business process. So for example, this price optimization solution, enterprise level, 1 billion grocery retailer we have built in 1 month by one person, and it helped to earn incremental 4% of gross margin. We now sell it door-to-door in Finland, France, Italy, and through partners in Spain, in US, and in Poland. We are selling it on subscription model, software as a service, so average check is around 240K per year, and it depends on the amount of data retailer has, complexity of business application, and the level of support they need. So if you like shopping, if you want retail to stay alive and be profitable, let's talk. Thanks a lot.
Hi, I think that being profitable is the new plug in this market situation, so congrats. So how are you in business-wise? What's the stage of the company?
We're early stage, 1 year old. We started in technically 2020. In 2021, we have released the platform we are using now. We have a couple of clients now and around 4 pilots in Europe.
I looked on your website and I looked at the 4 clients. They're pretty different. What are your insights of working with so different retailers, and are they different or are they very similar?
So they think that they are different, and every chief executive of every retail wants to be different, to be profitable, because they want to win on the market, right? So that's why our platform, when we are pitching to them, our main value proposition is that we give you this difference. So you can get the solution quite quickly, but you can still customize it. So to make it your weapon on the market, I mean, that's the idea. But generally, it's all about, you know, the same data, so loaded, and for example, price optimization, it's the same no matter of DIY what you are selling. There is no big difference.
Is it easy to explain? Because it's a difficult product.
Yes.
Is it easy to sell in?
No, enterprise selling is never easy. I've spent half of my life in IBM and such companies with you know, very long pre-sale cycles. But we try to cut some, you know, this time to market using some technology. Technology way of doing it. So not processing way, you know, operational way, but using, for example, data integration. You can do it years, or you can do it quite quickly with some specific tools.
Given the team background on your previous exit, you could have probably done quite a few other things as well in life. Why did you decide to start this company and build something towards this vision?
That's quite simple story, because we worked as a team in one startup many years ago. We sold it, and after we arrived in IBM, we became in IBM. We worked in IBM many years, and we were part of global solution with hundreds of millions revenue. We worked with Walmart, Target, in European retailers, so we have a lot of experience. But you also want to change something. That's why, you know, we see where it could be different and where we can, you know, break the ceiling. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Maxim. I love that profitable is the new black. Something to take home with you. I might need to get a new set of clothes. Next we have Pop-in Games, Talat Erden.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's great to be here. We fix in-game advertisement. The problem is, games today have lots of ads disrupting the gameplay and taking up the screen space. Gamers hate it and drop early. Reaching gamers is hard for brands, and it's not inexpensive in a way. So they don't try or they fail. Game studios earn less due to all this. Gamers today are 3 billion plus people. Sorry, it went a bit fast. 34 years old, play 2 games and twice a day. It's $160 billion market, excluding metaverse. In-game ad field alone, our field, is $6 billion and it's growing 20% yearly. So how do we kill the pain? We help advertisers to reach gamers without annoying them and harming their brands. Game developers download our plugin, install to their menu, create dynamic ad spots in the texture of their game with no coding. Game developers upload their content, do their payment, start their campaign on their own, and start monitoring real time through our platform. Gamers see ads just like walking on the street, a billboard or a poster on the wall. As a result, gamers enjoy the gameplay, visit more, ad revenue increases, and we take our share out of that. We are planning to reach surplus by 28 months with 490K MRR. We are a project manager, a coder, a finance expert, looking for 450K, mainly to be used for development purposes. Our Unity plugin is being tested by several game studios, and metaverses proved to be okay. Our metaverse importable NFT billboard is on sales. We're also looking for potential partnership options in EdTech area in order to increase the number of games and brands in our inventory faster. The current market is covered by the large entities, but just 5% has been taken by non-intrusive solutions. But yet we believe it's the feature of in-game ads, because half of the game developers and brands are willing to use it in coming 2 years. We are ready and on time to catch the market shift opportunity. I am Talat. We are EIT digital-backed Pop-in Games. Let's build the feature of in-game ads. Let's capture it together. Let's play it. Thank you.
Great. I actually bought some of that in-game advertising early in the 2000 when on FIFA, the early games.
Yeah, static ones.
But then it wasn't dynamic. This is interesting. So, how do you think about to reach into the big game developers, and have you started those conversations, and where are you there?
That's a very critical point that you're raising, because that's the hardest bit actually. Because when you go to the big gaming companies or even the settled ones, it's a bit hard, because the big ones, they even have their own engines. We focus on Unity and Unreal, but they might have their own engine as well. So basically there is a starting point going through the individual game developers, so that we will be going on that phase. Then going to the local advertiser companies, local brands, and go through the ads technology companies like Adjust, for instance. We will be able to reach larger companies, because the game developers are, in a way, in the hands of publishers now, so that we need to take a little bit of time to reach that level.
Thanks.
Hi, as a gamer, I really hate ads, and I love this.
We all do.
Yes, but if this is a feature, how do you scale and go fast enough so that others won't just copy the feature and do the same in their own ad?
Well, I mean, there are actually companies from, for instance, from Israel. We have Anzu, Bitsec England, Advert in Sweden, you might know. So those are the ones that's just covering 5% yet. The market shift is just happening because the dynamic ads are just coming in. We are similar in a way. We are sort of different because we don't put ourselves as like an ad agency. It's a self-serve service we have. We have a platform. So they do all, we just do the controls, like legal and ethic controls. When we talk about gaming, you know very well, I mean, when you have a game, you are day one global. So scalability is not a large issue, but reaching the right games will take time, definitely.
Interesting idea, and of course, as you said, like getting scale with the inventory is kind of key, and probably second is that where your inventory is. So how do you motivate those gaming studios to place your inventory in strategic and good locations so that you can then further on sell that inventory?
Currently, when you go to gamers, I mean game developers, you know, before launching a game, they have certain tests, A/B tests and etc. When they do it, they test how many ads will be appearing on the game as well. They have no space. There's nothing left. So when you get into the game, it's very valuable for them. If you don't kill the game, as long as, because we are based on CPM, we don't have clicks, we don't have installs, we are striving to keep the gamers inside. We are putting the gamers into the center of gaming. That's why we believe it's going to be hugely effective on the game studios as well.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening.
Next on stage, Harri Myllylä from Book Salon.
Hello all. So health, beauty, hair beauty, wellness entrepreneurs, they spend way too many hours each day doing admin, reporting, and acquiring new customers. This means they spend less time on actually doing what they love the most and what they do the best, making their customers happy and confident, also making money at the same time. So we at Book Salon, we are in the business of doing this. Did you get it? So we allow the entrepreneurs to end their day by just closing the screen of the laptop and going home, or doing whatever they want to do. So Book Salon is a single solution for hair, beauty, wellness entrepreneurs to salon owners. We already handle their bookings and their payments, and we want to be their bank, their lender, their card issuer, and their accountant. This is how the entrepreneurs currently handle their things. Cumbersome, difficult to use services. This is us. This is Booksalon. One single solution, easy to use, and we offer this for free to them. With our paid for service, you get point of sale, payment terminal, online payment, and payment services. We charge a small monthly fee for the service, and we make most of our money through transactions or the commissions on the transactions. Booksalon Net Promoter Score is an amazing 72. We have 4,000 professionals using the solution currently in 4 different markets, 4 countries. Booksalon has been developed by the best entrepreneurs in the industry, and our own winning team consists of beauticians, hairdressers, and high-growth entrepreneurs. There are 17 saloons along the walk from here to Kamppi metro station. Maybe another 10 to 15 that you cannot really see. 2 out of those 30 are currently Booksalon customers. Within the EU only, there are more than 2 million customers, potential customers. Market is huge, it's growing, and it's largely overlooked. So, join us on our journey to end the day by just closing the screen of the laptop. You should join, definitely your hairdresser, and even more so your friend or family member who is running a salon. Thank you very much.
Great presentation. I see you have some success in Finland, and I also see that you have launched in beautiful Sweden.
We have, yes.
Yes. What are the first insights? Is it going easy, tough? Is it the same recipe as here in Finland, or is it different?
Well, of course, starting brand new in a brand new market, it's never easy. That's let's face it. It's never easy in that sense. However, the market dynamics in many ways are very similar, with the difference that in Sweden you have one very dominant player currently in the market, which is both an opportunity and a threat. Usually, when there's one really dominant, there are also those who are not so very happy with that provider. But yes, we definitely are seeing kind of the same elements work in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and also in the UK.
Looking at this market, once in a while, there's quite a lot of players that are attacking this, trying to kind of cover the end-to-end. How do you differentiate? What's the kind of pitch to the customer when they're choosing between more of the modern providers?
Mm-hmm. That's a very good point. I think that the number one thing is that we also bring the payment side into it, so they really have it all from us. If we go only with the saloon management, it's going to be really tough and hard. With the payments included, hopefully more financial services going forward. Well, first, we get a little bit more money, well, quite a bit more money per customer, which makes it easier to also spend some money acquiring those customers. Plus, it actually brings a lot of value to the actual end user when you really, literally, this is what we aim for.
And maybe a detailed question, but given your model that you focus on GMV, you have to spend quite a lot of money to acquire the customer first. It probably takes quite a lot of time to recover from that customer acquisition cost. Can you reveal a lot? Have you found ways to improve it? How long does it take to recover from acquiring a customer?
Well, right now it's taking us roughly 8 to 10 months to kind of acquire that money back. Of course, a lot of work on that still. General awareness seems to be the best thing for us. Plus, the customers, if we have an NPS of 72, it means that a lot of our customers are recommending us. So that's where we try to focus a bit more.
Yeah, very good data. All right, no other questions. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Harri. I feel bad for the people who work on desktops. They don't get to end the day with such a satisfaction of closing the laptop. I feel for you guys. Yeah, 5 startups to go. 5 startups already been on stage. I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. Next, we will have Päivi Kangasmäki from Riskrate on stage.
Hello, everybody. So, Riskrate allows grow faster with less risk. Are you afraid of those bad decisions you can make? Because the data you need on your decisions, it's so hard to get access and tame. Your customers are churning, your cash is burning. Before you know it, it's too late. Not anymore. Riskrate connects your finance tools and banks to the reporting engine, machine learning, and over 80,000 companies' database to create high-quality reports in seconds. This saves your time and helps to make better decisions much faster by giving unique business-critical insights in 3 areas: products, customers, and cash. You can allocate your resources much faster by comparing product prices and demand in real time. Before a new deal, you know how your customer is going to pay you by using real-time company database of 80,000 companies' risk profiles, and this it's getting better all the time, every day. So it creates network effect. So it means that more users, better predictions all get. So there is no need for example, credit insurance anymore for some companies. And you get confidence about your cash in seconds, regardless of the continent you are running your business. So say goodbye to uncertainty and extra cash buffers on the bank account, limiting your growth and risk-taking. Riskrate user is a controller in mid-size company. And current tools in the market that extract data and create reports are for large companies, and they are too complex to use. So this is why the majority of all controllers are picking data to spreadsheets, or they have to buy expensive consultant hours to create reports, for example, in Power BI. Compared to this, Riskrate is minutes to taking use, you instantly get results, it's always up to date. Today, we have roughly 3.2 million mid-sized companies globally, and due to economic crisis, they need now to know their business and money flows faster, and that is boosting the demand. Our business model is online SaaS, and now we are targeting companies who operate in multiple countries, so we serve for both subsidiaries and group level. We are a team of 2 people, an advisor working in a crash. So we have been bootstrapped so far. Our business is positive, and today it's look like we are looking for more people in next year. So today, right now, so our target is to become #1 financial data analysis tools for controllers globally, and we are looking for finance ERP consultants to partner with us and to win new deals together with Riskrate. This is Riskrate, and I'm Päivi. Thank you.
Very interesting, and of course you have a very big market with multiple companies and SMEs. How do you pick the most relevant customers to yourself, that you don't spend time with customers that are not relevant?
Yeah.
So what's the kind of target market that you first aim to focus on?
Great question. So we are working very much with that one. So our users are CEOs and controllers. So there is no specific industries, but there is one relevant thing is that they want to grow. So CEOs, they want to manage these risks, and controllers, their work is to work to handle these risks.
Very good. And how do you capture then those audiences?
So we can see them. So how to say that? So we can, because we are today. So mostly we will contact these companies. So we can see if they have operations in many countries or their revenue, what is the business model, and so.
Great presentation. My first thought was, I wonder how many people they are, because it looks very complex. And then I saw you were 2. So
Thomas is sitting behind you.
and it's ambitious and it's interesting. So how will you? I saw that you said tech and sales, but how will you structure? How are your ideas about structuring the company?
Yeah. So now our strategy is that to partner with these ERP consultants, because that's the right time to be in contact with the customer. And regarding the team, so we are looking for full stack developers, and we are looking for salespeople and growth hacker next year to get started.
Sounds great that you have built such a very interesting company already with bootstrapping. What do you think that you have been risk averse yourself, or what is your next steps?
Yeah, so I think we are not risk averse. So I think we are risk takers because we have been resigned for good jobs to taking risks, and because we are also solving the same problem we have been tackled before. And so the next step is so we have been moving up the market, so working closely with customers, and so this partnership will be very important to us, and then we start expanding the team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Päivi. There are many beautiful things about the community we have here. One of them, hopefully you've enjoyed today, is the variety of solutions that are being built at the campus. Another beautiful thing we've noticed, especially during the pitching day, was the variety of stages the startups are in. We're known as an early stage startup campus, but it doesn't mean that it's only early stage companies here. The next startup taking the stage is, I'd say, by far the biggest one we have here by headcount. I'll let Kalle Salmi from Kodit.io tell a bit more.
All right. Yes. Thank you. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Kalle Salmi. I'm the founder and CEO of Kodit. At Kodit, we are building a real estate services platform that helps urban people to change their lives and properties, to make their move in the housing market. And we do this through 3 key products: instant cash offers, real estate brokerage, and rent to own. And there are really 3 things that get us excited about these problems and these products every day. 1, pain is real. Experience buying and selling a home is consistently bad across geographies, not only in Europe, but worldwide. 2, it's important. Buying and selling a home is the single largest financial decision most people make during their lifetime. 3, total addressable market. Real estate is the largest asset class in the world. If you can create a great product, it's going to be huge. Where we are in a nutshell: 3 countries, 300 people, selling more than 1,000 homes per year, industry-leading unit economics and strong growth. In order to understand how we got where we are today, we need to go back 5 years to this same very campus when we started the company back in 2017, received tiny bit of capital from Icebreaker VC, also resident at the campus, to start building a machine learning, what we call a machine learning powered real estate data platform, a system that follows housing markets real time. We launched our first product early 2018. It's a cash offer product. What it means is that we give home sellers fast, fair database cash offers on their homes, flexibility to choose their closing and moving date, and even an opportunity to lease back their old home in order to avoid any kind of temporary housing arrangements. For home buyers, we offer beautiful, renovated, still affordable homes and an opportunity to trade in their old home, and in that way radically simplify the whole process that is normally involved when you are buying and selling. After maybe buying, renovating, and selling maybe a few hundred homes, we realized and learned that our key buyer group, those people who are buying these beautiful homes from us, they are relatively young, many of them first-time home buyers. At the same time, we became aware of one of the largest socio-economical problems in a lot of the metropolitan areas today, access to home ownership. And to solve this problem, we created a rent-to-own product. What it means, it allows these buyers to lock in the price, pay below market rent, save money, and finally purchase the home with a traditional mortgage. We have more than 30,000 people on a waiting list to get onto this program. And as we've been building all the data tools, collecting a lot of data, not only public and private data, but also proprietary data, we understood that we can benefit and help a lot of the real estate agents with a lot of the tools that we built. We built a completely unique toolkit in terms of data and technology tools, but also liquidity products that real estate agents can use to serve their customers better. And also, we learned that these agents, these local experts of real estate, are the best and the most efficient distribution channel for all existing and future Kodit products. And it's really through these key products that has allowed us to find a product market fit that we have today, leading to strong revenues and healthy margins. So if you are thinking about selling or buying a home, we are at your service. Thank you.
Thank you. Very strong presentation and very interesting market at the moment.
Definitely.
So first I would like to know how this is affecting you. Is it, are you benefiting or have you had to adapt somewhere?
Yeah, so far what we are seeing, if we look at the business and the operation itself, we see a significantly increasing growing demand for the product, especially the cash offer product. It's essentially a liquidity product, providing liquidity to market. Last year, for example, there was a lot of liquidity in the market, so hence less demand for the product. In terms of a company in our stage, of course, it's a constant navigation in the equity and credit markets, and definitely some negativity there is impacting also our plans. I have to admit that. But operationally, what we are seeing so far, as we see, for example, Poland, where we operate, interest rates going all the way to 7% already. Unit economics are still staying the same. There are still people buying and selling, and everything is, in that sense, looking good. And same as in Finland, even though we haven't seen a lot of impact in the markets yet.
Super. We invested in Kalle and his energy in 2018. I still see the energy. That's fantastic. I'm thinking about, are you raising a new round now? And what are the goals? And where are you going?
You don't have to like board meetings. No. Yeah. Well, I think at this stage you are always racing, never racing, right? but definitely always looking how to expand. We currently operate 3 markets, three countries. We actually consider cities to be markets, not and we have a lot of total addressable market in those existing ones. At the same time, of course, we've been already for a long time looking into completely new countries as well. But as of right now, especially in the markets are where they are, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. We see, a good potential to increase, maybe double the size of the top line in the next 12 months, and hopefully triple the bottom line at the same time. So that's also a little bit what everybody's doing, I guess.
Great. Actually, just for that question, Adevinta and eBay took over Kodit from Schibsted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you regret it? What has been, you've been growing significantly, quite an incredible achievement to get into 300 people. What has been the biggest bottleneck for you to grow to this in terms of kind of people and team?
In terms of, I think also my role as a CEO is to get resources, people resources, and everything, and then try to find the best people to handle these things. And I think it took a little bit of time, but I really need to mention Andrew, who's our Chief People Officer, who has really built the whole process around talent acquisition as well. And it's definitely, it has been, it felt very hard to be able to hire 1 or 2 people a month, maybe at some point. And then all of a sudden you see that you have a team and the process in place to hire 24 or 30 people a month. So in that sense, and we've been also growing through acquisitions, both acquiring more traditional businesses and then kind of emerging PropTech platforms and their teams. I think that's probably the more challenging part. Always the integration. There's also always a cultural difference. There's always a CTO or someone in the company or business that you are acquiring, and integrating all of those people is probably something that takes time and requires you to have a very strong culture in the acquiring company. So maybe the integration is probably the hardest part. I'm not sure if that's the bottleneck though.
Very good. One more question?
Sure.
All right. Given you're a lot further stage than many of other entrepreneurs in the room, any encouraging or difficult words for them about the early phase of the journey? Should they go for it?
Well, specifically about great events like this, where they can showcase their startups and getting great coaching, how to present things and so forth. And when I came here, I actually realized that I haven't done a 3-minute pitch in 3 years. So for all of those who are struggling or who find it hard, build a great product, build a great business, and you don't need to worry about how good presenter you are.
Well said. Super. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, Kalle, and thank you, Lauri, for that great question. I think that was very nice to hear those words coming from a seasoned founder himself. Next on stage, we'll have Hamina Wireless and Jussi.
Oh. Anybody? So why does wireless fail? It's a problem with old equipment, right? You need the new stuff. Not really. You really don't. If this is your home, home Wi-Fi usually works well if your router is placed in the ceiling in the middle of the apartment. But, is it really? Usually it's behind the cabinet there in the corner, or maybe it's actually behind the laundry machine, and you can, understand where Teams actually starts failing. So this is a simplified example of wireless network design. That was definitely a wireless network design problem. And as the convincing guy in a suit, the design is the most crucial factor in creating high-performance wireless networks. And I mean with suit. I'm not going to doubt him. So wireless networks run all of these places: hospitals, airports, hotels, warehouses, and it's not 1 or 2 boxes in there, it's hundreds or thousands, and somebody needs to design those networks. And it's not just Wi-Fi today either. It can be private 5G networks, IoT networks, and they're all connected through wired networks. This guy is the problem, or actually the lack of these guys. So today, wireless network design is the privilege of a few people. And why is that? It's because they're using these ancient Stone Age tools that are expensive and cumbersome and slow to use. So most wireless networks are not actually well designed. And how do most wireless networks work? Not great, right? So at Hamina, we do easy-to-use, browser-based, super-fast, GPU-accelerated, you name it, tools for designing quickly indoor networks, outdoor networks, you name it. This is from my old hometown of Los Gatos, but you can design anything. Maybe this is a warehouse where the ceilings are high and there's a lot of challenges and there's a lot of business-critical requirements and all of that. That's how wireless networks should be designed. We do 5G, we do Wi-Fi, we do IoT technologies, all of it. And then you're like, oh, but the target addressable market is too small. Every building needs good Wi-Fi. Every business needs good Wi-Fi. How's that for target addressable market? We have all the hype buzzwords. See, all the check marks. So we're checking all of that. 390, software as a service. Our current ticket size from customers is between 390 and 500K plus. Many of Fortune 100 use us. Most of FANG use our stuff. We sell in all of those places. We team up with all of the big players in the industry. We are in the highest stage of the Microsoft for startups, whatever, free money. And then these pretty boys use our stuff, and they've given us ridiculous quotes like this guy. He's apparently from Sweden, but he's next to the building in NASA. I'm not finding him credible, but with quotes like that, I'll take it. It's not our first rodeo either. I mean, these guys have been doing it for a while. The ask, the next time you hear somebody complaining about wireless, ask them, have you been to Hamina? That's it, hamina.com.
I don't know where to start because you killed all my questions.
But you have a suit, so you should have a good question.
I need Hamina.
All right, difficult to top that. Except that it's Maria using Hamina already. I think we've had our struggles.
So everybody try a speed test now, and let's see how this network does.
I don't know. What's the world domination plan? Where do we see Hamina in 1 year from now?
In a couple of years, will be the dominant tool for indoor as well as outdoor network design, whether it's private 5G, Wi-Fi, IoT like Zigbee, BLE, all of that. I think that's the goal.
I guess there is some competition, like other players in the market that are not so fun, but anyway.
They used to be.
Okay. But how is the business going compared to those?
So how is the business going compared to those? We're still getting started, right? We've only been here for 14, 15, 16 months, something like that. So we've been mostly in product development phase. For the last 3 months, we've been selling under the table, kind of to friends and friends of friends type of a deal. So we are definitely not the dominant player yet, but the growth curve is pretty encouraging, even just selling under the table. So people were actually willing to pay money for our alpha and beta products. So it's looking good, but we are far from global world domination yet.
How many rounds of beer did it take to convince your founders to name the company you founded based on your hometown?
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of Haminian in all of us, and because of the walrus and stuff now, I don't know if you heard about the walrus event, the Mursu thing in Hamina, free publicity and all of that. That made it easier.
So it was you implementing the Mursu?
Yeah. All I'm saying is I have a big boat.
Before we have to call, Hesari to publish this story, I guess we wrap it up. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Well, that definitely lifted up the energy in the room. I'm going to keep my bit short so we can continue on this high. Next on stage, Mia Khan from Eventual.
I'm so glad that somebody ordered a stand-up comedian here on stage, so thank you, Jussi. My name is Mia, and I'm from Eventual. And if Vilja Care was talking about good death, I'm talking about good life. So let me bring you to the world of joy and entertainment. And if you really think about entertainment, we consume it more than we consume food. You can check your screen time. And entertainment field has been able to grow because of the empowerment of the people. But there is one problem and one branch of entertainment industry that is absolutely broken. And that is called the events industry. And apparently, since you all are here, you like live events. But less than 1% of all the talent in the world actually make it to the stage. That means for us nearly 100% lost business opportunity. That's crazy. But this is because the events industry is broken, it's disconnected, and it works in a very dinosaur way. And that is because the promoters and the venues and the performers even, they have absolutely no idea what you want to experience. There's a lot of hassle and dazzle trying to figure out and looking for a crystal ball, like what Elina here wants to experience. They put a lot of resources into promoting and sales, and then they start selling tickets to an event. What if it doesn't fly? Elina didn't buy a ticket. That was a risk taken, money lost. So we put you to the driver's seat. We want to make sure that you get to experience life. So we actually make you the ultimate decision makers. So we start with the people. So before an event takes place, we take the pulse of the people. So now the promoters and the venues, they can test and try out different concepts and go absolutely bananas without taking any risk. Only the campaigns that are successful become an event. And even if there is no success, we still get the data and very interesting insight what you guys really love and what you want to experience. And this we can use in future marketing. So meet the world of people-generated culture. And we have a proven track record. We are generating revenue, and we are going to become the #1 in the events domain globally. So if you feel like joining our ride, please scan the QR code and contact us.
Fulfilling dreams, that's a good vision, actually. Is it both for like dreams about getting large favorite artists to come to your town and finding new talent to get up on the stage?
It's everything all around, because we all want to experience different things. Probably Elina want to experience something else than you. Some people are into mainstream, and some people have this kind of like a hidden wishes about very underground needs. So we want to dig out everything. But to be honest, this is not such a big problem in the mainstream, because Ed Sheeran nearly always sells. So there is no risk there. So, but I hope this answered your question.
So the last years have been very difficult for the event industry. How have you customers taken this now? I guess they are trying to play safe and they don't want to take so many risks at the moment. So is this selling well at this situation?
Yeah, I think that like for many of the startups, the timing is everything. You have to have a good team, but timing actually plays a big role. And to be honest, if we tried to create a business like this before the pandemic, the industry is very stiff and it works very traditionally. And I believe that maybe timing-wise it wouldn't have worked then. But we have realized that this pandemic has been a great disruptor. So we have seen that maybe we have to change the ways we work and we need maybe different set of tools. And so many other industries have benefit from the empowerment of the people. We have examples like Airbnb, Bolt, even OnlyFans. So we really believe that this empowerment is a great opportunity for the industry, and it has never been utilized. So.
Very, very important target to kind of build kind of bottom-up events and more of a local niches. The challenge with those might be that they're quite small in terms of revenue. So how are you planning to make money? How do you make this profitable? Because probably the artists are not the ones that where you can take 50% of their sales costs. So.
Yeah, so we have several revenue streams. We also do the normal ticketing to events, so you can utilize that. We have subscription packages for the industry professionals, and analytics is really like key for us, and that is of course very valuable. And of course in the beginning we're reaching out to communities and maybe smaller acts, but we do a lot of cross promotion and PR. And we trust that when people realize that this actually works, it's better to avoid the risk than taking the risk.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Thank you, Mia and Eventual. That's 9 startups and 1 to go. So, Andrew from Geyser Batteries.
Cool, thank you. Hey all, you good? So, lots of great stories, great solutions. Here's another one. Who of you are actually driving electric cars? Not enough yet, not enough. You don't actually need to drive really an electric car to appreciate this idea of supercharging Tesla at home from solar panels being completely off-grid. Practically, it's really, really hard. Not everyone has a house with a big enough roof for 500 solar panels. That's actually how much you need for supercharging a Tesla. But not everyone in the neighborhood is supercharging Tesla all the time. It's really only the peak power moments that we really need to handle to be able to embrace renewables across different domains. And what we really have now is this problem of ever more power limited supply that comes from renewables that actually has to serve the ever more power hungry demand from the electrification of pretty much everything. And in between of those, we have this very old and actually very expensive power grid that somehow needs to handle this. To solve the problem, we need to have these power buffers to really be able to fast match the supply and demand. And this is a requirement to avoid blackouts, to electrify the heavy machinery, all these things that actually prevent us to be completely renewables based. We're providing that kind of power buffers, energy storage that is fast, that is low cost, and that is reliable. This is a great market opportunity. Only in the stationary market where we're starting from, we have billions to address and actually even larger impact. We're talking about gigatons a year of the GHG savings. Later on in the heavy machinery markets, that there's more to address. Robustness of the energy storage is what our customers need. They require something that works really fast, that doesn't create headaches at the end of its lifetime for recycling, that is inherently fire safe in this very stressful environment, that actually doesn't have a huge carbon footprint. That's Geyser Batteries. And we're providing this at low cost. We're a team of about 15 people with dozens of years of background behind individual members in energy storage development, manufacturing, in licensing. That's important because licensing is our growth strategy long term. In actually selling into these particular high power markets, and of course in running business. We're VC funded and family office funded, but we're also very grateful to Business Finland. That's why we're actually in here for supporting us all along this journey. And what we're particularly proud of is the partnerships that we have built recently. Most notably, that's with Shell, who are helping us to work on the electrochemistry, and also with the Fraunhofer Institute that helps us to build grid scale, really container-sized solutions to deliver to our pilots. We can leave the go-to-market for later, but here we are, Geyser Batteries. Vouch for us, and let's make sure that when we go renewable, we do it without ifs and buts.
Oof, this had everything in these times. Cheap, fast, energy, storage, everything.
Renewables.
Yeah, fantastic. And it's also very complex. Are you planning on like having your own factories and stuff like that, or are you partnering with those also?
So you're really picking up on my slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually we're starting from the stationary market, and we are delivering the first pilots using our own resources. So we actually not just need to deliver the product, but we also have to develop the manufacturing method. And that's how we actually spend the last two years making sure that we can manufacture this automatically, because we're talking about cubic meters of batteries. Later on, we'll open this technology to others to manufacture. So all these gigafactories built around Europe now, it's not invention made in Europe. That's technology licensed out of Asia. We are a Europe-born technology.
Thank you.
This is very hot topic at the moment, and I think that there are many new energy companies coming up. But are you in ready position to utilize the momentum that is happening at the moment?
The momentum is building up as we speak. So basically, what we have now is we have this massive trend of electrification, which is actually driven by batteries. So the reason we have so much stuff electrified is because of the great technology of lithium-ion batteries. But as we adopt them more and more, the more we see the shortcomings. Safety, toxicity, end-of-life problems, and also performance in this highly stressful environment. So for that reason, we actually cannot build what we need to build with lithium-ion batteries, and other technologies are actually needed. There are great solutions in the long-term energy storage with that are safer, that are actually already competitive with lithium-ion in cost, but in the fast energy storage, there's real shortage of technologies at the moment.
Very important technology. I said very complex industry. What other things need to happen in the kind of energy system in terms of end user application or charging network in order for you to deploy a battery somewhere?
Good question. We are, first of all, addressing the currently very underserved market. I mean, in many applications where we're going for, there is no alternative solution, and these things just do not get electrified. We are strictly industrial batteries, so we are not really going into consumer applications. And here we have just normal integration task, engineering task, similar as if, I don't know, lithium-ion batteries were used or lead-acid batteries were used.
Okay. Too difficult. Jury doesn't have more questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite all the showcasing startups on stage for a little token of appreciation ceremony. Could you please come on stage? Everyone. Come on, don't be shy. You've been here before. Would you look at this beautiful lot of people? Thank you so much for being part. Thank you so much for being brave to take part in the pitching day initially, and then thank you for Arpe as well for coaching. Yes? I saw the pitches during the pitching day, and not to sound mean or anything, but there's a huge improvement happened since. And I'm not going to say it's only because of Arpe. It might be also because you're more comfortable on stage, but it's been such a great thing to see how you also... Such a lovely audience. Yeah, thank you for the audience. Yes, it would have been quite awkward to have this event without an audience. So thank you so much for being here and being involved, clapping when we need you to clap, laugh when we need you to laugh. It means the world for us. So the Mary01 team, who I'm also very proud of, by the way, we would like to give you a little token of appreciation. It's a diploma we've framed ourselves. And flowers. Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, this year's events was bigger than last year. Last year we only had this bit where you're now at. But this year we wanted to make it more open and inclusive. That's why we had the call for startups at the beginning of the year. We had a bunch of good applications, and it was so lovely to see maybe like 22% of all of our startups being interested in taking part. The feedback during the pitching day was fantastic. Also from the startups who are not on stage here today, I want to thank you guys as well. Most of you are in the audience. The feedback was that it's definitely a great thing to get experience on being on stage, how to pitch, how the pitching formatting works, and receiving questions from a jury. So it's what we want to do. We want to help the startups here to thrive in the future as well. Could we please have a big hand for the startups once more? Thank you. Thank you so much. Please. And I also already said a thanks for the audience. But yet again, a heartfelt thank you for you all here present and at the streaming thing bit on the next wing. Thank you for being there as well. Anyone who's streaming this maybe at home or elsewhere, thank you for joining. We will continue with the after party. And as mentioned earlier, please be on time. Doors open at 6, but you're more than welcome to go and queue before. Queuing is fun. We love to queue. Yeah, I've run out of notes. So this has been Maria 365, powered by KPMG and Eventual. Thank you so much.